Hi, I'm Travis Monson with Once Upon a Board Game. Today I want to teach you how to play a great little card game called Trio. Now the box says this plays from 3 to 6 players and games take about 15 minutes. I'd say that's true, if not maybe even a little bit on the long side. Our games have been even a lot quicker than 15 minutes. This is a really quick, snappy little game. It's over really fast. So much so that you want to play it again and again and again. And when you do, that's when it gets really fun because there is a little bit of a memory element to this game. And when you play multiple times in a row, you think you're remembering what's going on, but you're remembering maybe the game before or 2 or 3 games before, and it just makes it more fun. We've had so much fun laughing at each other because you just keep forgetting and do the same thing over and over and over again, and it's been a hoot. It's been a lot of fun. It's a real quick, easy game. Let me show you how it plays. Okay, as I said, I'm going to be teaching how to play the game Trio. Now this, as you can see, is a really small box game. This is actually a German copy of the game with some German rules, so I'll set that aside. I've got my own little English printout of the rules, which is all you need because there's no words on the cards. But what do you get? Well, you just get a deck of cards. You have 3 each of the numbers 1 through 12. So there's a 12, right? So there's 36 cards, right? 3 each of 1 through 12. You get that and some instructions. That's all you need, okay? So basically, to play the game, you're going to shuffle the deck. You're going to deal out a number of cards to each player, plus a few cards in the middle. And how many cards each player get and how many cards go in the middle are kind of determined by how many players are playing the game. And this does play from 3 to 6 players, okay? There's a little table in the rule book that tells you, how many cards each player gets and how many cards go in the middle. So you see, like in a 3-player game, each person gets 9 cards and then 9 cards go in the middle. Whereas all the way up to a 6-player game, each player gets 5 cards and 6 cards go in the middle. So all 36 cards are going to get used regardless of player count, but the number that each player has in their hand and the number of cards in the middle are, that's going to vary from player to player. So let me maybe set it up how it would look for a 3-player game, and then I'll show you how it works. Okay, this is set up for a 3-player game. Like I just said, in a 3-player game, each person is going to get 9 cards. The remaining 9 cards are going to be in the middle. Okay? Again, that changes based on player count, but for 3 players, this is how it works. Now, this would be played closed hands, but of course, to walk through and explain the game, I'm going to have to play with me being able to see everybody's cards. So I'm just going to put those face up so I can see them. Okay. Now, I really quick want to talk about how you win. Okay, what's the object of the game? What are you trying to do? Well, you're trying to win. Well, first of all, there are 2 different ways to play the game. There's the simple mode or the spicy mode. Okay. The simple mode, the way that you win that game is you get 3 trios, okay? And a trio is just a 3 of a kind. Like I said up front, there's 36 cards. There's 3 each of the numbers 1 through 12. So if you manage to get 3 of a kinds, if you get all 3 of 3 different numbers, you win the game. Conversely, if you can get a trio with the number 7, you automatically win, okay? If you can get a trio with the number 7, you don't have to have 3 trios, just the trio of 7s will instantly win the game. Okay, that's the simple mode. 3 trios or a trio with the number 7. The spicy mode is the other way to play. And basically, you have to get, instead of 3 trios, you need to get 2 connected trios. What do I mean by that? Well, you'll notice that on the bottom of some of the cards is another card number. You see, like on the bottom of the 12 is a 5. You see, like for instance, on the bottom of this 4, there's a 3 and an 11. Okay? So basically, to get basically to win in this spicy mode, a connected trio would be trios with 2 numbers that are basically both written on the same card. Okay, so like if I had a trio of the 10 and a trio of the 3s, I could immediately win the game. Okay, I wouldn't need all 3 trios. I just would need those 2 trios, or those 2 trios, 12 and 5. You get the gist. Okay, so a trio, basically 2 connected trios for that spicy mode, or 3 trios. And in either case, a trio with the number 7 is going to instantly win. Okay, so that's what you're trying to do to win the game. Okay, so how does it work? Well, this is basically, I kind of jokingly call it a gamer version of Go Fish. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, basically, the way that it's going to work is on your turn. Let's just say that I'm sitting here and I'm going to go first. Okay, on your turn, you can pick any player at the table, or you can pick a card from the middle. But if you pick any player, you can ask them to reveal their highest card or their lowest card. Okay, and of course they have to do it. There's I choose not to do that. It doesn't work like that. I say, hey, show me your lowest card. And that person says, okay, well, they would reveal a 1. So they would put that down on the table. So now I know that person has a 1. And again, you always have to go the highest or the lowest. I can't just say, show me an 8. It has to be the lowest or the highest, which is why you can't just choose the number 7 right away, which is high. If you can get the number 7 and get a trio with all those, that's why you could win, because it's in the middle. It's harder to get. Okay, so choose the lowest or the highest card. So I asked this person to show me, and they say they show me a number 1. Now, I secretly know I'm holding a number 1, so if I can find out where that other number 1 is, I can get one of my first trios. Again, I need 3 trios to win if we're just playing this simple mode. Okay, so once you have chosen and asked somebody to reveal their highest or lowest card, you can again ask anybody at the table to reveal their highest or lowest card, including yourself. Say, hey, I'm going to show my lowest card. I don't necessarily want to tip my hand to the fact that, I have a number 1. So I could say, hey, show me your lowest card. So I asked this person, and they reveal a 3. I said, oh, bummer. That wasn't the 1. So that wasn't what I was hoping for. But now I know, at least, right? So I know that their lowest card is a 3. Okay? The moment you do not reveal matching cards, your turn is over. Okay? So I said, show me your lowest card. It was a 1. I said, show me your lowest card. It was a 3. They didn't match. My turn is over. Those cards go back into their hands. Okay? Okay, now it's this person's turn. Okay, so they're thinking, he was just asking me about low cards, so maybe he has a 1. They're not quite sure though, so they don't want to risk it. Plus, they're looking at the fact that they already have 2 12s. If they can find that third 12, they can get their first trio. So they're thinking, oh, who do I pick? They're going to ask this person, hey, show me your highest card. And this person says, it's a 12. They put down a 12. And they say, woohoo, that's great. I'm going to say, I'm going to reveal my highest card. And it's a 12. And they're going to say, I'm going to reveal my highest card again. It's a 12. Okay? Since they revealed 3 cards in a row that match, they just formed their first trio. And that ends their turn. Okay? So your turn is going to end immediately if either A, you reveal 2 cards that don't match, like this person did. They revealed a 1 and a 3. So cards that don't match ends your turn, and it goes to the next person. Or if you can keep showing cards that match, you keep going, like they did. And once you get a trio, the trio also instantly ends your turn. So your turn is going to end with 2 unmatched cards, or a third unmatched card, or a trio. Okay, that ends it. But now they've got one of their 3 trios they need to win the game. So now it's this person's turn. And they're thinking, well, I have no idea. I have a 3. So they can really only start with what they have. So they're thinking, show me your highest card. They asked to me. So I reveal a 10. They're thinking, oh, sweet, I've got a 10. They're like, where's that other 10? They say, you know what? I'm just going to choose this one. I'm going to look. And they reveal it. Ooh, it's a 4. Okay. Obviously, those don't match. So that immediately ends this person's turn. So that goes back, and this gets flipped back over. So there is a little bit of a memory element to this game. Okay. That is important. And it's kind of funny because if you play multiple rounds of this game, the memory, you're thinking about where cards were from a game or 2 or 3 games ago. And it is hilarious. It is hilarious how often people forget and they ask the same thing turn after turn after turn. Show me your highest card. Oh no, you just showed me that. I knew it. It's really funny. We've had so many laughs playing it. So it's especially great when you play maybe late at night and people are tired, or you play multiple times in a row. Oh my goodness, it's hilarious. We've had so many good laughs. Anyway, I digress. Back to me. I'm sitting on the fact that I know this person had a 1 and I have a 1. I don't know where that other 1 is. So I know this guy doesn't have it. I could say, you know what? Show me your lowest card. So he's going to show me his low card. I'm maybe thinking he had a pair of 12s. Maybe he's got a pair of 1s too. So I say, show me your lowest card again. And then they say, it's a 2. And I'm like, oh, dang it. Okay, so that ends my turn. Okay, because I revealed 2 unmatched cards. Now it's back to this person. This guy's like, well, he just asked for a low card, asked for a high card, and he saw that I had a 10. So he's thinking, well, I know he doesn't have an 11. He says, what's your highest card? And he says it's a 10. He's like, oh, this is crap. He says, well, I've got a 10 here, but I can't reveal it yet. So they're going to just say, show me your next, show me your highest card. And so they say, well, my next highest card is a 9. So 2 different cards, that ends his turn. But now he knows that he's got a 10 and he's got a 10. So he knows 2 of the 3 things to get another trio. Okay. So then it's back to, it's back to this person. And they say, he knew that his 2 lowest cards were a 1 and a 2. So he knows that guy doesn't have a 3. So he's going to say, I'm just going to try here. Is this a 3? He's like, oh, no, that's an 11. He says, well, my highest card is a 10. I don't know what these 2 highest cards are yet. He says, hey, show me your highest card. And so this guy reveals an 11. He says, ooh, there's 2 of them. So he's going to say, you know what? I'm going to just take my chances and go here. Ooh, it's a 3. He says, so he revealed 2 11s, but then a 3. So his turn is over because he didn't make a trio. Okay, then it's back to my turn. And I said, well, I've got a 1. I know he's got a 1, but his next lowest card is a 2. So that's not going to work. So maybe I'll just go in the middle. Oh, wow. Holy crap. Okay, it's an 11. Okay. I think this was it. Was this the 11 they revealed? Yes, it is. So I reveal those, and I say, hey, show me your highest card. And the guy says, oh, you suck. And he reveals that it was an 11. So then I revealed and got my first trio. That ends my turn. Okay, then it's back to this person. He says, now he's got that 10. And he knows the 12s are gone. And he knows that on a previous turn, I was asking about high cards. So he's maybe banking and hoping that I might have a high card. So he says, hey, show me your high card. He already knows it's a 10. He says, hey, show me your high card. And I reveal it's a 10. That's what he was hoping for. So then he reveals his own high card, and boom, he's got another trio. So he's got 2 of his 3 trios he needs to win the game. Okay, but that ends his turn. So it's back to this person, back to Allie, we'll say. Okay. And she revealed, I think it was here. I just talked about how people forget. In all fairness, I'm thinking for multiple people, but I think this is where the 3 was. They know they've got a 1 and a 2. They're not sure. They're thinking, because of the fact that I asked multiple times for low cards, they're thinking that I have probably a 1. So they're thinking the other 3 is probably out here. So they're going to say, let's look right here. Ooh, it's an 8. That doesn't help. So just for giggles, they're going to say, okay, show me your lowest card. Show me your highest card. And I'm going to say my highest card is actually a 7. They're like, oh, wow, that's your highest card? Interesting. So that ends the turn. And then it's back to me. And I'm going to say, well, I know he's got a 1. I know that person doesn't have a 1. I'm going to say, what's this card right here? Oh, it's a 3. Where was that other 3? I said, I think it was here. And it is. And I say, hey, I knew from, if I can remember, I knew from a couple rounds ago, show me your lowest card. And they reveal a 3. So I got another trio. Boom. I'm also 2/3 of the way towards winning the game. Okay. That ended my turn. It's back to this person. They're going to say, again, they knew that this person doesn't have a low card because 3 was their lowest. But because of the fact that I asked multiple times, they're thinking I probably have that one of the 1s. So they're going to say, hey, what's this card here? It's a 4. They're like, oh, shoot, that's not what I wanted. And they're going to say, well, what's your lowest card? And they're like, oh, wow, I didn't expect that. But they already know they can't make the trio because the 4 is in the middle of their hand. You can only reveal a lowest or highest card. So just for information gathering, they're going to say, hey, what's your lowest card? And they're going to say a 1. So that ends the round, but they know that the other one is here. Okay, then it comes back to Allie. She's going to say, I had revealed a 7 previously, so she says, show me your highest card. And this person reveals a 9. The 10s, 11s, and 12s are all gone. She knows she's got a 9. So she says, what's this card? Ooh, it's a 1. There's that other 1. So she revealed 2 different cards. Her turn's over. That goes back in the hand. That flips over. Comes to me. I said, oh, I'm going to reveal this. I'm going to say, hey, show me your lowest card. They reveal it. I say, here's my lowest card. I reveal it. Boom. That's a trio. And that's my 3rd trio. I just won the game. So that's how it works. Okay, it's super easy. It's show me a high card, show me a low card, or pick one in the middle. As long as you keep matching, you get to choose again. And if you make a trio, boom, your turn's over and you got one of the 3 trios you need. If you show at any point, whether it's that second card you flip or that 3rd card you flip, if they don't match, your turn is instantly over. The cards get flipped back over or they go back into the person's hands. Okay. And again, you can, if you have all 3, like if I had previously gotten rid of some other cards and it was my turn and I'm sitting on all 3 6s, I could say, hey, I'm going to show my highest card. I'm going to show my highest card. I'm going to show my highest card. Boom, boom, boom. You can just immediately play the trio because that was your highest card. That's why with a 7, if you can get the trio with 7s, it's an instant win condition because you can only ever go the lowest or highest card. And so there's usually always something else. And like to get the 7, we couldn't even play it until other stuff was gone. But it's a super simple little game, but it's a lot of fun. So that's trio. As you can see, it's really simple. Like I said in the run through, we kind of call it like a gamer version of Go Fish because you can't just say like, do you have a 6? You're actually saying what's your lowest or your highest card. So it's a little bit different, but kind of a gamer version. And there's a little bit of a memory element. You very quickly forget who had what and what was revealed and what place it was. And I mean, the way that it plays out in real life, it's hilarious. We've just laughed and laughed and laughed when we've played this. So it's a very simple game, but believe me, it's a lot more fun when we actually play it than it might look like on camera. But anyway, that's Trio. Hopefully this teaches you how to play and answers any questions you may have. Give me any feedback. I'd appreciate feedback if you have any for me. Let me know if there's something else you want me to cover. But thanks for your time, your willingness to watch. Give me a like and a subscribe if you get a chance. I'm Travis Monson with Once Upon a Board Game. Thanks. Bye.